Hello, my name is Owen. I was mentored by Lucas this last semester, so I was also working on the OBIII with him. Um, my stuff was not quite as technical, but it was fun, so I'm going to present about it today. So first, a little bit about me. I'm a first-year BS MS cybersecurity student. I'm in the honors program. I am a secondary black belt and instructor in Ishinryu karate. I really like to play badminton and card games. I really don't like Windows very much. Uh, I play trombone, which is the best instrument, inarguably. Question. It's called Samurai Martial Arts. It's near here because I'm from Rochester. It's in Gates, I think, or Greece. I don't really know. It's where I live. I don't remember what it's called though. What dojo? Martial Arts America? Uh, you go there? I know them. And then I also collect Club Penguin merchandise, so pretty much I'm very cool. There's a picture of all my puffles that I have. It's not that many. The black one, because that was the first one I ever got. But I also like pink. All right, so the OBIII is written in Golang. I had never heard of Golang before I started working on this. So pretty much after Lucas put me on the project in the GitHub, showed me how it worked, I went back home. I was playing Magic the Gathering with my friends, and then in between my turns, I would go and read the documentation and W3 schools, which is very helpful. So I learned it like the next day or something. It wasn't too bad. It was pretty similar to Swift, which I used for my senior project in high school. And then the only thing that I really struggled with was it had pointers, which I'd never used before, where different variables had like the and star symbol. And I looked that up, and Google didn't understand what I was asking when I put the and symbol and the star symbol. So I had to ask Lucas because I couldn't figure out what it was. But that was the only thing that was really too tough. And then my VS Code Golang extension didn't work, probably because I have a MacBook. It didn't like it. And so I couldn't check if I had errors until I committed it, and the code checks in GitHub. So here's all my commits of errors of me forgetting to put some sort of punctuation or something. So Discord bot, it's got a lot of fun things in it. The main functionality of Discord bot is the commands that it provides to Discord. So here's the command folder, so a list of all of them. I created the top two, so attendance and attendance of, and that's what most I'll be talking about here. But it does a lot of things. The signs is a big part. It keeps track of what meetings you attend, what intergroups you attend, and of course you can get pizza if you sign in at the general meeting. So everyone loves that. And yeah. So sign-ins. There's a lot of different types of sign-ins. It's stored all in a database where it's an SQL database. I didn't realize that, but it's also backed up on this Google Sheet, and that was all I saw. So I thought it was stored in a Google Sheet, which I thought was kind of funny, but it's actually an SQL database backed up on a Google Sheet. So the main one everyone knows is the general meeting. I'll keep track of all your interest groups and mentorship sign-ins, and then other, in case you have other sign-ins. And so pretty much what my job was, the tens and tens of commands. And what the problem was we had all these sign-ins, and everyone on the ops team that has access to the database can see your sign-ins, but it's not the easiest thing to do, and you don't have access to see your own sign-ins. So you click the sign-in button, it'll say total sign-ins and general meeting sign-ins, and that's it. So if you want to see your breakdown of interest group sign-ins or mentorship sign-ins or how it all splits apart, there's no way to do that before. So what I did was I wrote this tens command, usable by all verified members in the Discord, and it lists your own sign record, and only you can see it. So you go to whatever channel, it doesn't actually pop out. Whatever channel, you can type in /attendance. There's an example here. It'll pretty much just show your attendance split up by each different section. If you don't have any section signups for a certain interest group or whatever, it will not show it. This was most of the code for it. Pretty much how it works is a lot of it's just the weird syntax with Golang and how it interacted with Discord. But you pretty much it takes your user ID from the message that when you send it, grabs that user ID, sends it to the database, asks for all the sign-ins, and then loops through every sign-in type to see if you have that sign-in. And if you do, it throws it in there. The method to look through all of the sign-ins or to loop through each of them, I also wrote that on a later slide, because before we were doing one big switch statement with every single message, and every single time we had to use all the different sign-in types. So I just refactored that into one thing to save some time. So that was the attends command. You can use that if you want interested in your sign-ins. It's pretty neat. Then there's the attends of command, which is only for IG lead or above roles in Discord, so it's not usable by everyone. This lets you see the attends of other people. So you just do /attends of and then add a user, and it's pretty much the same thing, but instead of using the user ID of the person that sent the message, it's the user ID of whatever user you provide in the argument. So yeah, it's restricted to only IG lead or above. That's the permission requirement right there. And then the way we put in an argument is this options thing, where it's an array of all different types of options. And so just a type, name, description required. And then you can use that later in the command. So it's not too different. Both of them had helper functions that would send the actual message back that would tell you where all your sign-ins were. This is me when I tried it on myself. My sign-ins on this one are different than my sign-ins on this one. You can't really see it, but they were different, so I don't know how that happened exactly. But and so this one is usable. IG leads, you can see who's attending your your interest group. You can see if you're like e-board, who's attending the meetings more regularly, stuff like that. So this is more just to see other members' attendance for people that would need it in the club. And then also, I realized this while making this presentation. In the attendance command, when you put the thing that your message has a colon after your sign-ins, in the attends of command, there is not a colon. And so that's pretty much the worst thing I've ever done, is mess that up. And maybe I can fix that, but otherwise it's not that big a deal. But it kind of annoyed me when I realized that when I was making those screenshots. So, and also, my signs are different, I don't know. So GitHub, I assume most people know how GitHub works. I did not know how GitHub works very much. I just have it for the classes, so I just do add, commit, push, and then I'm done. But I was put into the GitHub project. Lucas assigned me to an issue. I would take the issue, I'd make a branch. So basically, like, it would take all the code from the project, put it on my computer, and then I would edit it without actually editing the project, obviously. And then Lucas told me I should not do add dot every single time that I add to the thing, but only the files actually worked on. That way it's easier to keep track of it. And I remember him saying that specifically because I wasn't sure really how any of that worked. I just knew add dot commit dash m something push, it worked. But so now I know a little better. And then there's the code checks once you pushed it to the repository. There's like all these things to make sure there's no errors, make sure it doesn't like destroy the entire bot. And then if that passed, obviously it doesn't go right into the thing, but it would be in there and you can then submit it for a pull request. And Lucas would put it into the staging Discord. There's a separate Discord server to test the OBIII bot and then test it in there. Probably had to make some changes. I think each time had to make 1 or 2 changes after we test it. But then after that, can make a pull request to the main project, and then it would be put right into the regular bot for everyone to use in the actual server. So that was pretty cool. And these were the 3 that I worked on. So this was the refactoring. This was to check everyone else's sign-in, so the attendance of, and this was the attendance command. And then the last thing I did was the refactoring, where I just created 2 helper functions that would help avoid redundancy, because every time we add a new like sign-in type, what we'd have to do is go through every single portion in the code where we use the sign-in types and add it to that. So if we forgot any place, that could kind of break the sign-in thing and it wouldn't work very well. So we just went through, instead of having a switch statement in every single different file that uses sign-ins, put it in one function, pretty basic refactoring. There's 2 ones, the one that gives you the array of all of them so you can iterate through it, and the other one just converts a string to a type. So if you have like someone typed in the name of the thing, you can get the actual type of it. And that's pretty much it. Thank you for listening. Thanks to Lucas as well for being a great mentor. It was a lot of fun. Any questions?